Hey everyone, Draco Magnius here for the October month of Madness in Horror Let's Play poll. Yes, it's around that time of year again, where spooky, scary skeletons and shivers down your spines and ghosts wail and all that fun, creepy stuff, and it's time to play a horror video game. As with last year and the various years before, I have chosen 4 horror games for you guys to select for me to play this year. As per usual, 2 of those games are the losers from last list coming back to see if they can maybe get selected this year, with 2 brand new games that I've selected from the ether, as it were. How the video is going to work out for any people that are new to my channel, I'm going to show the trailer for one of the 4 games, and then I'm going to give you a brief synopsis of the game. That could be from the back of the actual physical game, maybe a summary of the plot from Wikipedia for one of the games, because I haven't bought that one in particular yet. Maybe I'll go on Steam and read the description from there, because we have some Steam games on here this year. But without further ado, let's get started with our first trailer, which is a revisit game. So I'll be right back in just a moment.
Something wrong here. Hard to concentrate on his voice.
The object is known as a terma. It's an ancient artifact, very powerful indeed.
So, Bennett tried for the terma and hired Frank to go after the terma for him. Either these ghosts are real and your whole worldview just got knocked into a hat, or there's some kind of high altitude hallucination.
That's right, first on our list is, once again, Cursed Mountain. Cursed Mountain's a returner from last year and the year before that. It's an often returner, because I guess all the other games I selected are just people want to see more than this one, but hey, I'm rooting for Cursed Mountain this year. Not that that should persuade you in any way. You choose whatever you think's the best choice, and I will play it. That's the way a poll works, after all. Anyway, we'll once again read the description for our horrifying adventure. Embark on a desperate rescue mission for your brother who vanished in the Himalayas. After searching eerie villages and ancient monasteries, tracking down leads, you climb the steep faces of the Chomalonzo to discover his fate. As you climb higher, the mountain itself becomes an enemy. Prone to the travails of altitude sickness and oxygen deprivation, you may not be able to tell the difference between real enemies and hallucinations. Cursed Mountain's advanced graphics place you in realistic Himalayan environment, taking full advantage of the control system as you immerse yourself in ancient traditions and horrifying rituals. Cursed Mountain is, of course, a Wii game, which would be bringing us back to my roots of, well, my channel as a whole. This all started with a Wii game, The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword, and my very first October Month of Madness in Horror games were Wii games. Ju-On the Grudge, which wasn't that great, and Calling, which was fantastic. Which is one of the reasons why I really want to play Cursed Mountain. I've had it for such a long time, and I really want to jump into it. But again, don't let that sway you. A the game speak for itself. If you think that's better than the other ones on this list, select it. If you don't think it's better than the other one, select the one you think's better. As again, that's how a poll works. But without further ado, we move on to the next game on the list. That trailer will be playing in just a moment. Alright, and the next game is Zero Escape, Virtue's Last Reward. Or VLR as we'll call it just to simplify things for now. VLR is the sequel to 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors, our 2015 October Month of Madness in Horror Let's Play, which I really enjoyed. Now, I don't technically own this game right now, so if it wins, I'm going to have to buy it on Amazon, so it might take some time to set up, but I'm willing to do that. Since I'm now working, I'll actually be able to buy it. Anyway, let's move on with the actual plot description here. On December 25th, 2028, a Californian college student, Sigma Klim, is kidnapped and awakens in an elevator with a girl named Phi. That's P-H-I, not to be confused with Phi or Phi from Skyward Sword, who seems to know him. Zero the Third, a sadistic talking rabbit AI, appears on a computer monitor in front of them and tells them that they must escape the elevator or it will crash, killing them. Upon doing so, the pair find themselves on an abandoned facility called Rhizome 9, alongside 7 other people. Because all rooms contain cameras, the players are always under Zero the Third's constant surveillance. Zero also tells the group that one of them is Zero, adding to the players' distrust of each other. The group is enrolled in a game known as the Nonary Game, Ambidex Edition, which relies on a system called Bracelet Points, commonly referred to as BP, which are won or lost by cooperating with or betraying other players in a voting game called the AB Game. A player who is allowed to leave the warehouse through the number 9 door only if they possess 9 or more BP. However, if a player's BP drops to 0, they are killed by a lethal injection via a bracelet containing tubocurarine chloride. In addition, if a player slips through the number 9 door without 9 BP, they will be penalized and killed via their bracelet. The players must explore the facility by passing through chromatic doors which correspond to the color of their bracelets in order to find keycards to activate the next AB gauge. Once someone escapes through the number 9 door, it shuts forever. Alright. So I did some research into this game, obviously, if I put it on the list, and it apparently has 24 different endings. As I did with 9 Hours, 9 Persons, 9 Doors, I'm going to play this game completely blind, running out the door for the first ending that I get. Then after that, I'll try and get... I don't know if I'll try and get all of the endings, but I will try and get most of them. We'll see. But without further ado, let's move on to our next game on the list here. And game number 3 is the Steam game, Fran Bow. Fran Bow is a creepy adventure game that tells the story of Fran, a young girl struggling with a mental disorder and an unfair destiny. After witnessing the gruesome and mysterious loss of her parents, found dismembered at their home, Fran rushes into the woods together with her only friend, Mr. Midnight, a black cat that Fran had previously received as a present from her parents. In the forest, Fran goes into shock over the loss of her parents, and when she recovers, she is at Oswald Asylum, an oppressive mental institution for children, and Mr. Midnight is nowhere to be found. After having a dream about her beloved cat, Fran decides to escape from the mental institution to find him and go back home to Aunt Grace, her only living relative. But with that all said and done, we move on to the final game on our list, another previous entry from the last year's poll. Our final game on the poll is Post-Mortem. Step into a pure thriller in which nothing is what it seems. After returning to the quiet streets of Paris to pursue a life of painting, Gus McPherson could not escape his true art. The former New York detective finds himself walking to the beat once again, when hired by a sensuous woman to investigate the gruesome beheading of her sister and her brother-in-law. In the dark and mysterious streets of Paris, plagued by his clairvoyant sixth sense, Gus will uncover the conspiracy written in blood, with rituals and artifacts as old as time itself. Post-Mortem is a Steam game, and from what I've looked at, it is a prequel to the Still Life series. I believe someone recommended the Still Life series to me, and I just got all 3 of these games together in a package, and I decided I'd start with Post-Mortem because, you know, oddly enough, like I said, it mentions it's a prequel, but when I looked at the release dates, Post-Mortem was released before the Still Life game, so I don't know what the story with that is exactly. But, you know, that basically does it for our games in the poll. I'll be right back in just a moment. Alright, and that's our 4 games for the year. There should be a little eye icon in the right corner of the screen, and you just click that, and it'll give you the options for the poll. Just click the one you want, and I'll see around October 1st which game won, and that's when we'll start recording. Maybe I'll open up with a stream of the game in particular, just to see how that goes. Well, I'll have to think more on that. That's for the future. Right now, just hit that little eye icon, select the game you want to vote for, and I'll see you guys October 1st.